Hello, my name's Tracy from Open Minds, and I have the privilege of training people to become mental health first aiders and mental health aware, which for those of you who haven't come across mental health first aid before, very similar to physical first aid. We train people to be that first support for people, either in the early stages potentially of becoming less mentally well, or indeed potentially in crisis situations where people might be facing self-harm or indeed suicide. And I'm thrilled that more and more people are doing this training. It feels a vital way for us to not only support friends, family, colleagues, particularly in the challenging times that we're currently in. I'm recording this in November 2020, so we have just about to begin the second lockdown in England on Thursday, so really challenging times for people. But this training is also really helpful in us understanding how to support our own mental well-being and deal with our own stresses and anxieties. So I thought it might be useful to share one of the tools that I think are most helpful in our training. I mean, there is loads. It's 2 days training the mental health first aid course. There is also the half-day awareness course. But this, I feel like, is something that works in a standalone way that people might find useful. So I'm going to just share it with you anyway. And this is what we call our stress container. So I'm going to just share some slides with you. So these slides are Mental Health First Aid England's slides. So they are licensed. They are the people I'm licensed through to deliver this training. So stress container. Let me explain for those of you who don't know about this model. So this is our container, and basically our stress container is our level of vulnerability, how much stress we're able to take. And some people have really big stress containers, other people's stress containers aren't so big. And there might be many reasons for that: upbringing, personality, circumstances. You know, there are many reasons why people might have different size stress containers. So into our stress container goes our stress. And we can't always control what those stresses are, and they will go into our container. And that becomes a problem when we get more stress going into our container than our container can manage. And then we get an overflow. We call this our stress signature. So these are the things that we might be aware or not aware until we consider it, of how we are affected by too much stress. And this is a very individual thing. It may be that you have trouble sleeping, it might be that you're a bit snappy, you might retreat, you might eat or drink too much or too little, and maybe any number of things that you may do or one may do to cope with the fact that we're dealing with more stress than we feel able to manage healthily. But we do have this tab. So this tab is where we put how we're able to empty our stress container. And so the things that we know that we can do to really help ourselves, that make us feel more able to cope. And again, this is very individual. For some, it might be exercise, it might be taking time out, having a bath, having a glass of wine, spending time with friends, gardening, spending time with a pet, be any number of things. But that when we do that, it's like sort of a reset button, that we are taking time out to enable our stress container to empty. So stress container, different sizes. Some people can cope with loads, some people not so much. Stress that goes into our container, can't always control those things, but sometimes just spending time acknowledging what those stresses are for you at that time can actually help you start to feel a little bit more in control. Being aware of what our signs are that we're not coping with the stress very well, but most importantly is appreciating how important it is to take care of ourselves, to take time out to ensure that we remain well. really difficult for people. I know, particularly if you have care responsibilities, often the last thing on your priority list is your time. But actually, if you're going to be effective in supporting other people and ensuring that everything is managed, it's so important to prioritise time to care for yourselves. So that is our stress container. And I think it's a really useful thing. And it's something you can do with teenagers, with children, in team meetings, in a work environment, and just give people the opportunities to think, oh, actually, yeah, do you know, that's what I do when I'm not coping very well. And what I should be doing. And you know, if teenagers sometimes don't necessarily relate their behaviour with the stresses that they might be experiencing, that they may not really have acknowledged and may not yet have built up a good, robust toolkit of things that they know will help them. So there you go. That's an introduction to the stress container. Be careful with it, because it can be quite triggering for people. People sitting down and doing that, it can be quite emotional. So if you are doing it in a team meeting sort of context, you might want to reassure people that they don't necessarily have to share. If they're doing that exercise, it's a personal exercise. And that, yeah, maybe invite people to share if they feel comfortable, but reassure people at the beginning of the exercise that they don't have to share, because it can be quite a personal thing. So there you go. If you want to find out more about the training, mental health first aid training, please come visit our website, which is Open Minds Mental Health. Open Minds Mental Health. There's a bit more information about me and about the breakdown of all the courses that are on there. Or find us on Facebook. Yeah, it'd be great to hear from you. I have become a little bit, I feel like I'm a bit of a mission around this training, because it feels so vital for people to have people around them that get it, and without facing the stigma and discrimination that can come with people who are experiencing mental ill health. So come and join me on my mission. Get in touch. It'd be great to hear from you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.